Hey y'all, welcome to my channel where we learn the tips and tricks to gardening and so much more. It was supposed to rain today, but as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I thought today was a perfect day to go over composting. I'm going to do from the beginning of how I create a compost pile all the way to the end and how I collect my compost. So come with me. Alright y'all, so in order to make great compost, you need 4 ingredients. You need green material, brown material, water, and air. So let me show you how I get all my compost piles started and how we go about providing all 4 of those ingredients. Let's go. Alright y'all, so this is a compost pile that I started about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and what was already ready to go I've taken out, and I'll show you how that looks here in a little bit. But this is the stuff that still needs to be composted, and I'll show you some of the things I add. Like we have the green material, which is like some grass clippings, some of the leftovers from the zucchini and the squash that I pruned the other day. We got cardboard that I've shredded and put in as well. That's the brown material. So you got green, you got leaves, that's brown material. And let's see if there's anything. I mean, I got grass, like I said, and I've got a few other things in here, like coffee grounds, eggshells you can put in, but they're kind of like underneath the pile already. So what I've done is, this is the center of the pile. I'm putting the material that is not completely composted in the center, and I'm going to put somewhat of composted material on top of it. Now this, like you see, eggshells and stuff, it's not completely composted. There's still some big material, so you don't want the big stuff. You want it pretty fine. We even got some sticks and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this, make about a 3 by 3, so 3 feet, and raise it up about 3 feet of material, and just a nice little pile. I have it over here by the chickens. It's away from any other neighbors, so it doesn't smell or anything like that or cause any problems. Sometimes it can cause flies, but that's why I like to put the material in the middle, so really they don't really get to it, and it helps the pests and the worms and things like that come from underneath and help compost it. But just to be safe, we do have some fly bags around just to help prevent the flies, just in case. So there's not quite a bit. So we're going to take this part, put it on top of this part, so this stuff is in the middle. Let's do it. So as you can see, I'm kind of going around and trying to put everything stacked up, so like I said, 3 by 3, and make sure that the green material is covered up, so all you see is brown material. So that's what we're doing. All right, guys, everything's covered up. It's pretty high, and as it starts to compost, it will shrink. It won't be this high. It'll shrink, it'll get smaller and more dense, and then when it's ready, we'll have plenty of compost. Now in this area, I switch it from one side to the other. So right now, it's kind of over here, and then as I rotate it, it'll move closer and closer to over this way, and then I'll rotate it back. I just kind of go back and forth so it's not all in the same place, and it makes it easier to flip it. So now that we got everything covered up, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna water it. I'm not gonna soak it. You don't want it totally soaked, but you want it damp. You want it to have that good environment, that good moisture, in order to help break all of this down. And then I'll come back in about 2 or 3 days, and I will move this over here, and then everything that's underneath I'll put on top. So that's where you provide the airflow, is by going from where it's at now, moving this underneath and moving the stuff that's inside on top. It's just kind of rotating. You want to rotate. The stuff on the outside goes on the inside, the stuff on the inside goes on the outside, and just do it about every 2 to 3 days. And it'll take no time. Now, back here, it doesn't get a ton of sun. It does get some. So sometimes, if I want to speed things along, I will get trash bag, is what I use. It's the only, I do have a tarp, but it's clear, so it doesn't work very well. So I use the trash bag, I'll put it on top of it, and that'll help heat it up, but I don't have to do it often, because it's pretty warm here. So it gets pretty hot. Now, as this starts to compost, the inside, like when you dig down into the middle, will warm up. And that's how you know it's doing what it's supposed to do. So let me get some water, we'll soak it, and I'll show you what some compost looks after it's ready. Okay, y'all, so I've watered it. I did want to talk to you about, there are things you can build in order to keep it contained in one area. You can also buy composting bins. I try to go the cheapest way possible. If I don't have to spend money on it, I don't want to spend money on it. So where I live, I don't have a compost bin or have a compost area specifically. I know some people use like pallets and they'll make it, or they'll buy one, or you know, it's just up to you. Whatever you want to do, as long as it's 3 by 3, it'll work. But once again, I like to go the cheapest. So I've watered, it's nice and wet. I'm gonna leave this, like I said, about 2 to 3 days, and then we'll turn it. So now I wanna show you what the end result looks like. So let's see. All right, this is a container about, maybe about half full of the compost material, and it's got some bugs still in it, but they'll make their way out because I do have some holes at the bottom. They'll make their way out, and it's pretty fine. Smells amazing. Smells like, I mean, just straight nature dirt. And this is what we'll use in our garden. We'll put it back into the soil. I'll put it around the plants. I'll start, if I do, like I have a little raised bed over here that I've already started putting some in, and that's going to be for some of our fall stuff. But yep, there you go. So it's a pretty good amount, and it's got some spiders and some more bugs, like I said. But it's good to see that. You want to see bugs in it because they help with the composting process. So that's not a bad thing at all. You just got to be careful, you know, when you're doing it, that there's going to be bugs. So you just got to be aware of that and be careful. And this will be a great amount to finish up our raised beds, and then the rest of it, like I said, will go back into the garden. And our other pile will take about, I'd say about 3 weeks to another month. And then we'll have more. And I'll show you how I collect it, what I've built and how I collect it. So there you go, compost, and it's free. I mean, this is stuff, like I said, from the house, from the garden that we put back in it, coffee grounds, leaves, eggshells, things like that. So it didn't cost us anything. There you go, compost. All right, y'all, that is it for today. I hope you learned something about some composting, and keep in mind we'll come back in about 3 weeks and I'll show you how I collect it. So enjoy the beautiful day. Might get some clouds soon, might get some rain, we'll see. But I'm gonna go back into the garden, and I got some things to pick and some weeds to get. So have a great day, and God bless.